different than we would have before? Is this something that I do get the sense that both companies had things ready to go? It takes a long time to put together presentations like this, to come up with like the thumbnails, the marketing, the art. Like when the Xbox leak happened, they immediately were like, all right, we're just going to officially reveal this. And I doubt they had to mock up all of that the night of. They probably had it ready for some time. So we do know that PlayStation's been ready to go. The question is, how much will this impact it? Will we see will the price be competitive? I think is the question on all of our minds, because we already know what Xbox has and what Sony
My account
has,
isn't looking up.
That's pretty much how it's been played out.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say they're
Come on.
playing a very different game. And
Wanted to live stream this
definitely, I think it
thing.
plays into Sony's hands for
It's not
sort of
working.
Microsoft to have gone first, because they can sort of, if Microsoft comes out and says the price point and Sony goes, well, $20 cheaper, then that's sort of easy for them. But even going back as far as the Game Awards, when we got our first look at the Series X, whereas it took us, a good chunk of a year until we saw what the PS5 looked like. I mean, the fact that even the name PlayStation 5 wasn't formalized until CES.
It's supposed to be live streaming.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about price, which is a big thing on a lot of people's minds. Jonathan, what are your predictions here, and also when do you think it's going to come out?
Yeah, so right now we have the standard version of the PS5, which comes with a disc drive, and then the digital edition, as far as we know, functionally the same internals. Like
it's showing it.
The same, but it doesn't have a disc drive. But despite that really being seemingly only the main difference, I think what we're going to see is a $4.99 price for the standard version and a $3.99 price for the digital edition. I think Sony might be willing to take a bit more of a loss on that digital edition to get it into more homes, because that digital edition, people are going to then just solely be buying games through the PSN. That is going to be the majority of the way, other than buying a game code on Amazon or something. They're going to be getting all the revenue from those people directly, and so that's going to be like a long tail incentive to want to get into people's homes, even if they take a loss right now. But I think they're going to match the Series X at price with 500, and I'm tentatively saying the date. I could see different ways, but I'm saying right now November 13th. That's the Friday after the Xbox Series X and S come out. And
now it's showing it.
Call of Duty
finally. Stupid thing.
Comes out this year, and Call of Duty and PlayStation. It
wasn't showing it for some reason. For me.
Have people who are going either to a store. Or
sorry about that, guys. That was a screw up.
Buying Call of Duty the same day they can buy a new system and have it day one to play Call of Duty, I think is going to probably attract a pretty decent number of potential buyers. So I'm sticking with November 13th for now.
Right. Now, Brian, I think we can hear you now, hopefully. If so, do you want to predict the price point and release date?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Can we hear you? Maybe not. All right, let's go.
I'm sorry if it's really, really blurry.
Yeah, I think Jonathan's date is like really well thought out. I just picked a different one just to be, change it up a little bit. So I'm going with the 17th. It is 1 week after Xbox, but it is still right before Cyberpunk, and I think that can be a pretty good play. As far as price, I'm going to go on the higher end. I'm going to say $449 for the digital version and $549 for the physical. I feel like this machine's really powerful. We know the DualSense is inexpensive.
Sorry about the blurriness, guys.
Really hard.
Can't help it.
Hit that $499 that
my internet.
Much of us want, but at the same
worst.
time, I think they're very wary of being too close to that $600 price point, because they were burned so badly when they announced that. I think they're going to try to steer as clear as possible, but the idea of $500, it's just really tight, especially because the digital version, it is essentially the same hardware, just without the disk drive. So I don't think they could mark it down too drastically either. They're kind of in a rough spot. So that's my prediction.
Or it's their side.
For the digital, I don't know. And $549 for the physical.
Brian, I think you're actually back now.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I was actually recording in PlayStation 5 exclusive 3D audio for this entire episode. So you couldn't hear me yet, but you will be able to hear me this fall. My prediction is $449 or $450 for the digital version and $500 for the disc-based version. I don't think they can really charge more than $50 for.
See is a $4.99 price for the standard version, digital edition.
But yeah, that's going to be I think the sticker shock we're all numb to.
A little better.
500 feels like the way to go in across the board. I will say also, I'm going to pre-order the digital one because I feel like there's going to be less competition for that.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is, if there are brick and mortar stores that are still selling physical copies, they're probably not going to be wild about selling the digital only one, because they don't get people coming back to buy boxed games. People keep kind of chiming in on how much the disc drive is worth, and I want to point out that it is a UHD 4K Blu-ray player, which they're still pretty expensive. I mean, a lot of people have moved away from physical, but there are, obviously, collectors and people who want like really high quality, video. And I'm one of those people. I still like physical movies because I'm a weird grandpa. Anyway, we are about 4 minutes out. Let's talk about what we hope to see.
There we go. Now it's a little
Really
better.
looking forward to about this.
I mean, definitely.
Finally, my internet
getting a sense
caught
of
up.
what the launch lineup is going to be, and I think primarily around that Spider-Man Miles Morales. Like that game is
Thank you for
theoretically
coming,
coming out in
everyone.
a couple months, and we have only seen one trailer from it from the June showcase, and gotten a few developer quotes since then. So like, yes, we know what Spider-Man on the PS4 looked like, but I'm so excited to see what their take on Miles is. I'm excited to see New York in the winter. I know we've talked about that a lot on our PlayStation show Beyond, but I
need to move
so
up a little
thrilled to
bit.
Just go back to that world, that version of New York, and see what's up with this new take on Spider-Man.
Brian, what about you?
Demon Souls remaster or remake. It's been rated recently, which is usually the sign that it's coming sooner than later. That essentially means that it's ready to go to retail much sooner than I think anyone had anticipated. And so having that at launch day or launch window would be phenomenal, because
I'm
I
so
think
excited
they're doing
for
a lot
this.
of stuff that's sort of catch-all for casual players and big market stuff. But I want like a big, crazy, tough, hardcore, awesome action RPG, and I've never played Demon Souls. This is the perfect time to play it, so I can't wait.
I
Hope
agree
it's
on
there
that.
day one.
I might even
Nice.
play
Janet,
it.
what are you looking forward to?
I probably won't get past the
The
first
launch
level,
lineup,
though.
I really want a deep dive into the UI. We have seen like teasers of what the UI is, but I want to see what it actually looks like in practice. And then I want something that I'm really not expecting. I want something that will floor me. Part of me wants Jack 4, even though I don't even want Jack 4, but I just want something that feels unexpected, a little bit like a whirlwind. This is a fairly lengthy presentation, so as much as launch lineup is important and we'd like to see maybe some actual more concrete gameplay from these titles they've been promoting, I feel like they have to have something up their sleeve to really wow us. I think they did such a good job on their last presentation too, that this is their time to really drive it home.
All right, now we're just literally seconds away. Remember, you can watch the entire PlayStation Showcase right here. You don't have to go anywhere, and then we will be live right afterwards, hopefully with all of our mics
Stupid
working.
internet.
And we'll have a whole post-show and recap everything
Swear.
we saw and talk about all the best.
It was
reveals
perfect
and,
earlier.
Try to host a show while probably scrambling on our various devices to actually secure a pre-order for this thing. Video games, everybody, this is very exciting. Now, before we toss this, we've got just seconds to go. Let's go around real quick. What's a thing that hasn't been announced, just pie in the sky, that you'd want to see? Jonathan.
God of War, just the next God of War. I don't know.
I agree on that. I'd love the new God of War.
On Twitter means anything. I hope it does. But man, I just want to see more God of War.
Brian?
Last of Us multiplayer, or whatever they're calling that. The Last of Us 2 is essentially going to have a multiplayer thing, and that was confirmed to be a spin-off, a separate sort of self-contained piece of software entirely, and I think we're going to see it today. Fingers crossed.
We're going to see a demo of Last of Us Part 2 running on PS5?
I think so. I think that you're going to get at least a sizzle of some sort of the big rock stars of this current gen and how they look on the next gen. Although I can't imagine some of those games even looking better, but I'd love to be proven wrong.
Nice. Janet?
Yeah, on that note, I think seeing like a sizzle reel of any of the big PS4 hits that are confirmed for PS5, I think that would be really exciting and also help pad whatever their launch lineup ends up being.
Very cool. We've gotten some rumblings that we might see Final Fantasy 16 get revealed, which is very
I heard about
exciting,
that,
but also, I think a lot of people really just want to know when we're getting that Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2. So we're about 15 seconds out. I think that's it. I think we're gonna sit tight. We're gonna throw to this thing. I'm just gonna keep talking for like 6 seconds, maybe 5 seconds. I might just wrap it up in about 3 seconds from right now. But we'll be back for the post show right afterwards. Stick around. Sony's starting right now.
You're going to be watching it as well.
Yeah.
Woo! And it looks terrible because of my internet. But I know I keep complaining about that. You going to start? Or are we just going to sit here? I guess they're having issues too. It didn't fix anything. Whatever. Just gonna go with it. It's blurry. It's blurry. They having issues? Come on, guys. Start the dang thing. Just sitting here. Finally starting. I have no sound. Why do I have no sound here? That sound a second ago. I think it's their end. There's literally no sound. There. Another sound. Okay, what is this? What are we gonna see here? Who's this
You
dude?
all know the target. Shiva's dominant. And
So bad, I
only
can't even-
the dominant.
How do we even know the girl will be among them?
Our kind do not question orders, we follow them.
Girl. This is Final Fantasy. This is Final. Yeah, so the birds,
They've summoned their icon.
the chocobos.
Icon? That thing's a bloody mountain.
Whoa.
Our foe will not relinquish their mother crystal easily. This
Little
will
dog.
be a fight.
You should
It's like
be
an
out of
old-fashioned
words.
England.
We have discussed this. Come, Joshua. Your father will be expecting us.
I am Joshua's shield. I'm sworn to protect him.
Oh, we're getting combat.
What do you mean?
It looks really good too. Oh,
Did you not pledge your sword to our cause?
What does it matter?
this looks amazing, even if it's blurry.
It was the Dalnex who drove back the Crusaders in the Battle of the Twin Realms, was it not?
Without the blessing of the Mother Crystal, we cannot defend our realm from this.
They're really letting it go, aren't they? There we go. Now I'm getting good connection. Oh, the graphics are just unreal. The combat looks incredible.
Do they really mean to invade us?
That poor kid.
Duke's son. The Phoenix. Stop this!
I'm a little confused, but okay. It still looks amazing.
Second icon of fire.
Whoa.
That's impossible.
He's like a phoenix or something, I guess.
The legacy of the crystals.
This looks so good.
Has shaped our history. For long enough.
It transformed some kind of demon or something. That's nuts.
I'll kill you. If it's the last thing I do.
Okay. Mind blowing. Like console exclusive. Okay. Too bad. Too bad for Xbox. But I loved it. Holy crap, man. They just let it all out right there. That's not going to get a release date anytime soon. But that was cool. That was awesome. They just showed that right off the bat. Incredible. What are they showing now? I know that sound.
To change out here. Dang, I'm late for Mom's rally.
This looks so good. Visually, man, it's just... Is this really what it's gonna look like?
Subway card. Check. You got the house key? Yeah.
Frame rate's a little bad. Or that's on my end.
Come on! We're gonna be late!
Miles Morales. Oh.
Hey! Dude, I'm still filling your suit with snow. Are you still wearing your suit?
Yeah, you know, just in case.
It's gonna be fine.
His friend knows. Oh, that's interesting.
See,
it's gameplay!
my favorite part of living
Oh.
Pop-up street fair, best food in the city, awesome music. Man, this would be great for the last beat I was...
Like, the graphics are so much better than the last game. Like,
What do you think about Rio Morales? You gonna vote for her?
It's still hard to think of Mom as a politician. She's been a teacher my whole life.
Similar skill sets, right? Corralling people, educating them, making sure they don't throw things at each other.
that's funny. Yeah, it reminds me of my high school.
Hi, I'm Brian Porton, Creative Director at Insomniac Games. We're excited to show you this first look at gameplay from Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. Our story picks up 1 year after the events of the first game, and we find Miles' new home, Harlem, is in danger. Trouble brews while Miles' mom, Rio Morales, leads an election rally. A war between the devious energy corporation Roxxon and the Underground. A high-tech criminal army led by the Tinkerer starts to break out.
The Tinkerer. The Tinkerer.
Captured on PlayStation.
I think I've heard of him.
The Underground attacks Roxxon, sending the rally into chaos in a fight that spills onto the Braithwaite Bridge, where the Underground tries to steal Roxxon's experimental energy source, New Form. Let's take a look.
I like his new suit.
Whoa! Let's not shoot each other, all right?
Okay. Like unbelievable graphics. Whoa! Whoever that is, he can move.
We're after the New Form. Ignore everything else.
Alright. Was that a woman? I think that was a woman.
Get rid of him.
Yeah.
Have as much as you can carry.
There's this bioelectricity. Come on, Miles. Ouch. I wouldn't do that. Poor Miles.
Keep him busy.
Hope they have an enhanced version of the original. The combat.
I have to stop this.
I'm holding my excitement back, actually. This is... Because I don't want to be screaming into the mic. He's a little more... He's clumsier than the original Spider-Man. He's not as skilled. What the heck? He's got some weird weapon. I like the enemy design. Sure. It's so different, like. Well, the whole bridge is going down. That ain't good.
No.
Whoa! How is he gonna save the bridge? Let's see here.
Everybody get out!
Ooh.
Don't worry, I got you! Thank you. Man.
This, my heart is pumping, man.
Those people, they're trapped.
Like, I cannot tell from real gameplay or cutscene.
They need something they can cross. No. I can stop this.
Come on! That is some insane strength. It's a really good start to their presentation. That was awesome. Really? No release date? You're kidding me. Really? That's disappointing. What are they going to show next? Warner Bros. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. This is the new Wizarding. Oh.
Magic, both beautiful and powerful, binds together our long history. That common bond
I hope you get a pet owl.
is the
That'd be cool.
legacy of Hogwarts.
Hogwarts. Oh man.
Now it is
This whole show's blowing me
your
away.
own story to these hallowed halls, and quite possibly shape the future of the wizarding world. Every corridor, every portrait, every stone in this castle tells the story of witches and wizards who came before. Here you will meet lifelong friends.
Eyes are popping out of my skull right now.
Magical abilities in the classrooms of the world's most talented professors. And while your journey begins at Hogwarts, brewing potions,
I was not expecting this.
taming fantastic beasts, and mastering spells, there is a larger world beyond these walls.
Oh, the graphics.
Filled with dangers you can't yet imagine. An ancient knowledge long gone from this world. That strange and mysterious talent you possess may be the key to unlocking this dormant power.
Oh, this is incredible.
Is limitless. But what form will it take? The journey ahead will reveal what you stand.
Dragons.
The choices you make now will define the legacy of Hogwarts.
Oh my gosh, my mind has just been blown. They're just starting it with a big, huge bang. My brother's gonna flip out over the Final Fantasy, I can tell you that much.
Hi everyone, I'm Dan Vondrak, Creative Director at Raven. One of our goals as developers is to bring the game world to life unlike anything you've ever experienced, and the PlayStation 5 is making that happen. With the power of the new console, we've been able to significantly enhance the overall experience. From what you see in the world, to how it feels in your hands, to what you hear around you. In Black Ops Cold War, you will be transported to the year 1981, in the middle of one of the most dangerous times the world has ever known, the height of the Cold War. The following is a portion of the first campaign mission where you've been given the name of a high-value target linked to the Iran hostage crisis. But in true Black Ops style, nothing is as it seems. Take a look.
I'm not really that excited about Call of Duty, but that's me.
Kasim is out of the picture.
How long before we get Arash?
The team arrived in Turkey a few hours ago. They should be in position shortly.
Airfield's just a bad.
Alright.
Let's go find this shithead.
That's not very nice.
Priority is to ID Arash before things go hot.
The graphics are insane. Like every Call of Duty every year.
Check it out.
This is a story mission, I'm guessing.
Incoming truck. Left side.
Arash might be in the truck.
Alright.
I can't make out his face yet. I don't want the fuck? Just
What the?
the truck. That's gotta be Arash.
Hold fire. We need a positive ID.
That's just cold.
That's
Don't mind the pun.
Take him out.
That is cool.
Shit! We missed him! Can't let him get away!
Maybe I will get this. He just put the grenade in his pocket. The heck? Ooh, that is brutal. I'm more into less bloody stuff, but shooting looks really good. Now that is an excellent shot. Excuse me. That is one fast RC car. It's moving faster than actual cars. How did they even do that? This is cool. Really, really cool. is intense. And I love it.
This was part of the plan! Let's go.
Man, it looked like that would hurt. You dead. Coming holiday 2020. It said
we hope you enjoyed
November.
that sneak peek at the campaign for Black Ops Cold War. There are many more twists and turns along the way as you begin to unravel the truth, and we can't wait for you to play it soon. In addition to the story campaign, Cold War features the next generation of multiplayer online combat and an all-new awesome zombies experience. Today, I have the special honor to announce on behalf of my friends at Treyarch that the PlayStation community doesn't have to wait to play multiplayer. Starting this Friday, PlayStation players will be able to play the multiplayer alpha exclusively on PlayStation 4.
Cool.
For those of you that are watching at home on your PS4, you can preload the experience starting tomorrow. We can't wait to see you online Friday and through the weekend. Enjoy the rest of the show.
I'm super excited for the Harry Potter. Gotta say. Why is there no release dates? I thought. I really hope they give a release date for the console. They better. Because it's more and more not looking like it to me. Come on, keep bringing it, Sony.
All clear.
Come on, move!
What's this?
What the hell?
It's Resident Evil.
Take him away.
Ow. Yep, Resident Evil. It's like right after the last trailer. That's creepy.
In
All right.
life and in death, we give glory. The bell tolls for us all. They're coming again.
Okay. Crazy witch lady.
Mia.
Okay, that guy's ugly.
Quit being so paranoid. Long ago, a young girl went with her mother to pick berries for her father, who was hard at work. But the forest greeted them with a dark, cold silence. The bushes empty.
No, thank you.
Determined to find the berries, the rascal broke free of Mother's grasp and vanished into the trees. Mother's worried cries faded fast as the girl ran on, over vine, under branch.
This is so eerie, man. Gives you the chills. Some kind of cult. I don't like that.
It's just a local tale.
It definitely got the tone. That's for sure. Village. Did we get a release date?
If it's just looking, window shop away.
Really, no release date? I'm getting no release dates on any of these. What is up with this? Alright. Two birds, one stone. Alright.
You want
Sorry about the blurriness.
You gotta
Can't help it.
how it works. Black Reef is a puzzle, and each visionary is a different piece. Here's Igor.
I am a respected scientist!
I've done so many loops, I've learned to run circles around him.
Oh. That is so brutal, that crunch.
I am trying to focus, you son of a bitch!
That's rude. Holy mackerel.
I've tried taking my targets out one by one more than I can remember, but there is never enough time. I go after one, another lives. Because right now, half an island away, a different visionary is throwing his nightly cannibal masquerade. Alexis Dorsey.
Everybody shut up! This is my jam.
Igor is a big fan, yet somehow he never makes it to the party. Something keeps him home.
Colt, you there, buddy?
Here's the invite to the party. And here's why Igor blew it off. He made some kind of scientific breakthrough that morning.
I did it! I did it, it works!
That he makes every morning. Unless I get there first.
Okay. Like how he pours the bullets in.
No experiment, no breakthrough. No reason for Igor not to drink his disappointment with Alexis. Now I got a shot at killing them both at the same time. In the same loop.
That's interesting.
Hey, Wolf! It's time to hunt King! Colt! I'm talking about you, baby! Come on, blink!
Right out the window. Alright. I like the weapon skins. Ooh. It's brutal every time. Ooh. It's so gritty.
On my list. Every one of them with grand plans for eternal life. To break the loop, I gotta break the rules. Clock's ticking.
And you just ran out of time. You keep forgetting, Colt. I'm not like those other idiots. Only got one name on my list. Yours.
Man, she is nasty. You too, okay. I'll be definitely getting that day one. You've really been smashing it. Except for the release dates. Come on, guys. Another Capcom, okay.
That day, if our positions were switched, would our fates be different? Would I have your life? And you mine? You a demon?
You're kidding me. Special edition. I thought it was a new one. Never mind. Why'd they bring this out again?
This is our...
That's cool.
Rest in peace.
All right. I'm hoping for Kenner Bridge of Spirits. Look pretty cool.
Devil May Cry.
Digitally at launch. Alright. No dates. This is weird. What's up with that music? Oddworld, alright. It's one of the indie games that showed off.
What are they doing? Did those fugitive morons burn down their own hideout?
It sounds idiotic, but that's exactly what it looks like.
Bad karma for burning down my farm.
Man, that guy is ugly.
Hi, I'm Lorne Lanning, creative director of Oddworld Soulstorm. And we're excited to bring you an all-new exclusive trailer from the game. Here, our unlikely hero, Abe, finds himself fresh off the back of freeing his people from the nefarious Rupture Farms. He thinks the journey is over, but soon discovers it has only just begun. The stakes are higher, the threats are larger, the obstacles are more devious, and it's
it always is
possible by the power of PlayStation 5. Enjoy.
Abe's World, alright. There's bringing all the hits.
We are not letting that Abe guy get away from us again.
Let me guess, he's like the main villain? Or something? I don't know, I might be wrong.
Wait here.
Hey, why the hold up?
I could go for a sandwich right now.
We gotta get out of here. Come on, let's get out of here.
My tummy's growling. I'm hungry.
It's funny. Let me stop for a sandwich.
Gregory, your friends are worried about you. They're here with me. Please, come out.
Gregory.
Gregory, I may have lost my temper earlier, but it was just a glitch. It won't happen again. It's such a difficult day for all of us. Why don't you come out and we can play a game together?
This is creepy. Some kind of horror game.
Again. It was just a glitch.
Gregory, be still. I think she's found us.
I don't like this. Okay. Kind of got me there. Okay. Five Nights at Freddy's. That was interesting. Didn't expect him to bring that. That was unexpected.
Soul of the lost withdrawn from its vessel.
Oh, what is this?
Let strength be granted so the world might be mended. Soul
Oh, I know what this is. Okay.
withdrawn from its vessel. Let strength be granted so the world might be mended. So the world might be mended.
See, bringing that dude back to life. This is definitely Demon Souls. Yep. Please get a release date for something. Like, come on. Whoa. The graphics are like unspeakably good. You just teleport? That's cool. It's like beating all of them in one hit. Let me guess, you can die in one hit too. Alright, this is really brutal. A lot of parrying, a lot of really interesting combat. I like it though. Oh, come on. Alright. Like, he really bounces off that shield. I like this a lot. This is cool. Whoa! This is where it's gonna... Like that... normal person would just fly after getting hit that hard. Well, he died immediately. Dragons. You know I'm getting it now. Man, they're just rolling all the punches. Please have a release date. Nothing, of course. Starting to really disappoint me here, Sony. What's... oh, is this Fortnite? Yeah, it is. I could care less. Coming to PS5 at launch. Whatever. At least that was quick. At least it didn't drag on all that. PlayStation Plus collection.
Can you kill something that big?
My name is Marcus.
My name is Kara.
My name is Connor.
Battlefield 1, alright.
After all we've been through.
It's time.
Okay. Alright. Don't really care on that. They had to have a huge bang at the end. What's this now? Showed the back now, huh? That's what the back looks like. Huh. Huh. That's what we thought. That's what I thought. On the 12th! Oh yeah!
So now you know. Thank you all for joining us today and for being part of this amazing journey. It's your passion as fans of gaming that drives us to deliver a truly new generation of experiences on PS5. From everyone at PlayStation, we appreciate your continued support, and we look forward to you getting your hands on PS5 very soon. To close, let me leave you with one more quick look.
It's snowing.
The time draws near.
Go to war! The title for God of War. You go, Sony!
You must prepare yourself.
Ragnarok is coming. That is cool. 2021. Like, wow. Let it go with a bang.
Let's go.
I stay strong, forever young, may you live long. With perseverance, hold on and stand tall. Never back down with my back against the wall. They can never hold me back. Nothing.
Whoa! That's Solar Ash!
Fearless.
That's funny.
Fearless.
When can we pre-order?
And welcome back. That was the PlayStation 5 showcase. That was
No pre-orders?
We're joined by Brian,
The hell?
Jonathan Dormus, and Janet Garcia. We finally have a price point and a release date for the PlayStation 5, both models. Jonathan?
I was so close.
That was disappointing, son
So
of a...
close. One day off. Yeah, it's the $500, $499 for the main version with a disc drive, and then digital edition is $399 or $400, depending on how you want to say that. And they're both coming November 12th to some territories, and then November 19th to the rest of the world.
I want to point out, I was going to predict the 12th. I wrote that in our planning doc because I figured it would come out at night, the night before Friday the 13th, which they'd be crazy to lost a console on, but my mic wasn't working. But there it is.
There's no such thing as bad luck, okay?
These prices are super competitive. I'm honestly shocked that they were able to hit that 500. I was just really skeptical based on what they are offering and the fact that it really feels like they don't need to do that. They, you know, were more successful this generation. They are kind of already set up to be more successful this coming generation, and this just really put the nail in the coffin in terms of that. Like, they are essentially...
There's no release dates for any of the games.
In terms of power, so their next-gen premier model is arguably 400 because the only difference is the disk drive versus Xbox is at the $500 mark. Like, this is awesome. I don't think you could have like asked for anything better without being just completely unrealistic.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you could spend $100 less and get a Series S, which feels, you know, like it's going into a completely different territory than the PS5 digital is. That you're getting the top of the line version of the PS5 just without a disc drive for $400. That's insane. Like,
that's crazy. My biggest fear going into this would be that Sony would repeat what they did with the PlayStation 3, because after the PS2 sold like, you know, insane hotcakes, that they would maybe be like that same level of hubris. But to see them kind of come in with, again, such a competitive price is extremely cool. And now it just comes down to when and how do we pre-order these friggin' things. Now let's talk about the launch lineup. We definitely got some holiday 2020s, and we got some coming up pretty soon later on. But let's talk about what we actually know is going to be available digitally at launch or otherwise, starting with Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. Again, it's a game that kind of already came out, but that has a pretty clear digitally at launch, nice and clean there.
Yeah, which is interesting because it's already, I believe, setting this sort of cadence of the divide between these two consoles, the digital and the disc version. If day one of your confirmed games can't be purchased on disc, that makes you immediately go, why am I spending $100 more on this system? You know, I think they're kind of setting the course here because, like we said in the pre-show, they get all of the profits of selling something digitally themselves rather than selling a disc through a third-party brick-and-mortar retailer or something like Amazon. So it only makes sense.
Yeah, I was going to mention that same thing. It definitely puts a number on. Like, for me, I'm getting the physical version, the one that takes discs, and for it to be, at launch, but not physical, which also sometimes implies that there might be a physical launch later. It just sort of puts the physical space in an awkward situation where it's like, well, do you either want to wait longer to maybe get your game, or do you want to buy it twice for the culture? And that's never really a great spot to be in. It is something that we've, if you're a physical media
I was
fan,
really
you probably ran into
expecting
this situation several
some
times,
release dates
especially
for
with
a
indie games or
lineup,
something
but no.
of this caliber to be released at launch but not have the physical version. Obviously, COVID could be playing a role in that, but it sets kind of an uncomfortable tone for the next gen if you are someone that loves physical media like me.
Yeah, we also, Fortnite's going to be available at launch, which is cool if you don't already have that on 15 other devices. The really exciting thing in terms of the launch lineup, I don't know if this really counts as launch titles per se, because it's existing games, but the PlayStation Plus collection is kind of a huge deal, which is basically this massive library of PS4 hits that are going to be just available for any PlayStation Plus subscriber if you buy a PS5, which I feel like those usually come with a little slip of paper that says, like, you know, here's a free week of PlayStation Plus. This is massive.
You'll probably get a free week or a free month with the PS5, I would assume, and then they'll maybe even do discounts this holiday for PlayStation Plus prices. But yeah, this is such a smart move. One, for people who missed any of these games during the life of the PS4 but have had a PS4, and then two, for anyone who is someone who didn't have a PS4 this generation and wants to catch up on these really great titles, you don't have to also get a PS4. You can get a PS5 this holiday and jump into all these really, really great first and third-party games. I think it's a really smart move to have right at launch.
Yeah, I mean, my issue with a lot of this conference is that we didn't really get a ton of concrete information on anything. And so while this sounds awesome, my brain immediately started going, are these upgraded versions of the games? Are they running, on basically max capacity on the PS5? Something like Bloodborne, one of my favorite games of all time, if not my favorite, never got a patch on PS4 Pro. So I was delighted to see it as part of this lineup, but if it's going to be the same version that we've been playing on base PS4 for years, then that's kind of a bummer, because I would love to see them go all in. That said, this is an incredible library, and if for some reason you missed these games last time around, holy crap! You know, I think this is obviously their answer to Game Pass. We had sort of theorized for a while that PS Now would be something they overhauled, but I think they're smart to just go all in on PS Plus. The branding's there, the subscribers are there, and this will only drive in more and more people to sign up.
I think what's really exciting about this is it kind of sets the precedent for what might come for PS Plus.
Some games I was really expecting
like,
to
what ways
show.
are they revamping it? What kind of games will we see added to it? Like, they're putting in so much of their major lineup that this really could be the space to get those free games that are of high quality that you may have missed out on moving forward into this gen.
At the very least, it's very cool if you're going to be buying a new box and you haven't played. I mean, I haven't played all of these games. Like, this is a massive lineup of games, and like to get this new thing out of the box and be like, what am I going to play? And it's like, oh, you play one of the things you missed, and like maybe that's not as, you know, super exciting as a brand new title, but that definitely gives you something to hold you over while you know, publishers and studios catch up with you know, new hardware. But let's talk about some of the first-party announcements. We got an awesome look at Spider-Man Miles Morales, which is still slated for a holiday 2020 release. This looks gorgeous. Like, we knew that, but I mean, we're all big Spider-Man fans here. Jonathan, take it away.
Yeah, this was such a great showcase for it. I think, you know, when Spider-Man PS4 was first shown, a lot of people complained of like, oh, is it just going to be this, you know, QuickTime event game and you're just going to be doing that? And there were QuickTime events here, but I think we know well enough what Insomniac has planned that that's not a worry. The gameplay that we saw here, I don't want to take anything from what Janet said, so I'll leave it to her as we were watching the show together, but it looked great. I loved specifically really the way they're showing Miles's physicality is different from Peter's, and the way he moves, and not just his moveset, but also the animation and all of that. It flows differently. It looks so great. I loved this first look, and I think it was a really, really stellar thing to come out of the gate with in terms of first party showing at this.
Yeah, it looked fantastic. I loved how it had kind of this slowdown thing going for it. It looks like it's going to be even more exciting to sort of chain together these attacks, and I think in a game like this, that's what really ends up being enticing, because even though like Spider-Man on PS4 wasn't exactly a super hard or challenging game, the fun came from doing those combos, from pulling off like, you know, the pipe on the street and like whacking someone with it. And I think players that are really looking to like push things further are going to have so much fun chain together stuff. There's going to be all these crazy gameplay.
Where's the pre-orders here?
Out of it, and then just even seeing it now here, it looked so gorgeous. I think
I'll get
taken aback
notification
by how
for it.
Like, the lighting looked and how it just
from Best Buy,
so
but
real and just like just pretty. It was just such a nice game to show off the PS5, both in terms of the graphical fidelity and the kind of gameplay experiences we get to have on it.
Yeah, I think when we think about the last Spider-Man game for PS4, we think about these sort of open world physics, how incredible it was to swing around that city. It is definitely understated how phenomenal the combat was in that game for the reasons you listed, Janet. Like the creativity and fluidity you had in just dive bombing off of a skyscraper and beating up a bunch of thugs and throwing trucks at them and swinging around manhole covers and stuff like that. That got so much fun. And then you started integrating all the different things you can do with suits and stuff like that. It also looks like they're doing some really interesting stuff with the story this time around. Seems a little bit darker, a little bit more sinister. Although the last game did get pretty dark. You know, like there were like legitimately like sad moments in that game. But this entire scene felt something straight like ripped out of a movie. The entire bridge sequence here was what you would find as a set piece in, you know, a blockbuster Marvel film. It just looks so damn good.
He did the pulling together thing. That's the classic Spider-Man move of just holding the bridge together with both his arms. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's good to see. We kind of, you know, Spider-Man is sort of a known quantity. We know that that's a solid video game, and it's cool to see that it's getting some new polish and bells and whistles and new additions to it. We do know there's going to be a Spider-Man PS4 remaster for PS5, which is going to come with the Miles Morales Ultimate Edition. And it sounds like there's. Do we know if there's going to be a Miles Morales for PS4? Do we know that for sure or no?
It is coming to PS4, yes.
Okay, so basically both games are going onto their respective opposite systems, which is cool. So yeah, if you didn't get a chance to play that. Now, another thing that is sort of a known quantity, but also we're dying to know more about it, is how they closed the show, which was God of War Ragnarok, which is apparently coming sometime in 2021. We didn't get much aside from the incredible God of War music and, you know, some you know, rumbling VO. But yeah, we're all excited. We like God of War.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what this is. Again, sort of the running theme for this showcase or conference was very little information. With the Miles Morales thing, you had to basically dig around the blog for details, so hopefully more stuff sort of tumbles out today. But yeah, this is, you know, God of War won Game of the Year 2 years ago with IGN. This is one of the best games ever made, a phenomenal sort of reboot of one of the most beloved video game franchises, but also something that was, you know, a big, meaty, lengthy game. Like, this was a sort of like 15, 20-hour story, lots of stuff to explore. The game ended with some pretty open-ended sort of scenarios in which a story could pick up. And so there's a lot that can happen from here. So we don't know if this is going to be a Miles Morales style, sort of like 10-hour, you know, more bite-sized spin-off, or a full-fledged sequel to the last God of War game. But hopefully we get some details today. Either way, this was fantastic news. And Max, like you said earlier, I think for people who haven't played God of War in a while or haven't played it yet, it'll be their day one on PS5,
definitely
PS Plus collection. So super cool. A good chance to catch up, and I'll probably play it again.
Yeah, that's exciting, and also the fact that it has a 2021 on there is pretty cool. Really cool. I think just getting that's a whole year for things to release it, and there's always the chance it gets delayed. But I feel like that's not that far away. Whereas when God of War was first revealed, we were sitting around twiddling our thumbs for like 2.5 years before that actually dropped.
I was just going to say we have that and Horizon Forbidden West set for 2021. So first party wise, it's looking pretty good for next year for PS5.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we also got some incredible third-party stuff. The whole presentation kicked off with one that, sadly, I feel bad for the surprise that wasn't on their size, but Final Fantasy 16, which was heavily rumored, which is a substantial demo. Like, we got a lot, or not a demo, but like a lot of gameplay got shown off, and a lot of, you know, as you'd expect, gorgeous Final Fantasy graphics, which is taken a nice change back to medieval fantasy, which I know a lot of people were kind of hoping for after. You know, driving around in a Cadillac with the boys in 15 and all the diesel punk stuff in 7 remake. But yeah, this is also slated for 2021, and it looks really impressive.
Yeah, as someone who kind of dips in and out of the Final Fantasy franchise, I'll play one for a few hours, or I'll play one to completion and then not play another for 3 or 4 years. I do really like the very fantasy-focused version of this one, especially coming off of 7 remake at least, which obviously is more technologically focused and everything. This is someone who's gotten a little bit more into fantasy storytelling in the past few years. I'm really interested in this one, especially knowing you can kind of just jump into whatever Final Fantasy. I'm really excited for this one, and like you said, I can't believe it's next year.
Yeah, I think the big news here is them sort of stating at the end of the trailer, you know, PlayStation console exclusive. It's also coming to PC, of course, and we're going to see that a lot. But that was a big sort of like kick in the door from Square Enix and Sony today. I saw some like sort of theories kicking around on social where people were kind of had the idea that you were playing as one character across multiple timelines rather than like a full-fledged traditional JRPG party, which is a really cool concept. And it makes me very interested in seeing this because I think that's just different and new enough. And God, it looks gorgeous too.
That's a good Marlboro. Janet, what was your take on Final Fantasy?
Much similar to Brian because I'm not really a Final Fantasy person, so I was just excited that, hey, this is a console exclusive. It gives me more reasons to have a PS5, or at least beefs up that PS5 library, which in this showcase, you know, I feel like there wasn't a whole lot to get excited about that we didn't already know, and because that launch lineup was kind of thin. it at least says, okay, well, this is something that we have like guaranteed. It may not be coming out like day and date, but it's slated for later. It's something that, like Jonathan said, beefs up what 2021 looks like, even if like the tail end of 2020 isn't exactly the most exciting thing to have on PS5.
Now, moving on, speaking of fantasy stuff, Jonathan, I know you're very excited about this. Let's talk about Portkey Games' Hogwarts Legacy, which is a Harry Potter game that's not really a Harry Potter game. Let's talk about this.
You're putting me on the spot.
That looked amazing.
So, there was a leak. I want to say it was maybe 2018. It's been so long. But basically, there was a leak of a Harry Potter game that was set years ago, like decades, if not hundreds of years ago, was the alleged rumor. And it was going to let you create your own Hogwarts student and essentially play through your own story at Hogwarts. WB has since then not said a single word about whether or not this game was real. They've just pretty much stayed quiet until this trailer, and we saw that it's called Hogwarts Legacy. And seems to line up with the leaks that we saw that time ago. So it's going to be set in the late 1800s. You seem to be a student at Hogwarts, getting to explore, go to class, hang out with all the cool, fantastical, weird creatures in that world, and all this stuff. This couldn't have been revealed at a worse time for the Harry Potter franchise, I would say, as a longtime Harry Potter fan. The timing of this is not great, and so I feel for the devs who have been working on this game for obviously years. And the timing is unfortunate, but at least the work they're doing, it seems like the Harry Potter game I always wanted when I grew up reading those books. And so if it can deliver on that, if it can let you go to the classes you want to go to, play Quidditch, explore all the secret hallways and dungeons of the school and whatnot, that is a really, really cool prospect for Harry Potter fans.
I do think Harry Potter has been kind of struggling with this idea of what do we do outside of Harry Potter? Like, that storyline went really well, but some of the other things that have come out since the books ended and the movies ended have sort of been lacking, I think, for a lot of fans. Admittedly, I haven't dug into a lot of them because they have been lacking for a lot of fans, so I just wasn't interested. Yeah, so we'll see what they do with this one. I mean, there's like a lot of lore to pull from, but at the same time, trying to pave something new has its own challenges. I think all the problematic elements of Harry Potter aside,
definitely,
I do kind of feel like maybe it's time that we move on from Harry Potter just as a thing itself. But at the same time, you know, I'm a millennial. I read those books, actually not when I was a kid, but way later. I love them. So definitely going to dig into this. I want to see what kind of like weird slice of life things you can do. This trailer is super combat.
That would be interesting.
Which of course is, you know, exciting because it's magic and there's all these different monsters, but I'm like,
and they got dragons.
Yeah, I'm trying to go to class.
Like...
I'm trying to have some bully sim level experiences within Harry Potter. So that's what I'm looking forward to in this, and how they can really build out that world and the different systems at play outside of just the combat that I think they kind of focused on here.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be a weird one because like I don't think there will be any familiar characters. Like maybe the ghosts will be alive, you know, like maybe Nearly Headless Nick.
Sorry, that was my thumb.
But like Peeves, I guess, will be around.
It'll definitely be. It'll be a lot of the side characters I think that have been established. There's definitely characters who've been like alive or, you know, through ways been around for hundreds of years. I think the thing about it, at least for me, when it comes to like, I don't want to play a Harry Potter adventure anymore because one, I read the books. Two, I played all of the game adaptations when they came out on PS2 and GameCube and whatnot. And so I think like exploring the other the other sides of this universe is a smart way to go. I just think,
it's definitely
especially for a casual audience who knows that story and loves that story, it's harder to hook those people in.
Also, I want to point out, if there's anybody who's mad that this was revealed during a PlayStation conference, PlayStation is the only console canonically referenced in the Harry Potter books,
sure.
So it's canon. Anyway, speaking of weird castles full of ghosts and creatures and whatnot, we also got a glimpse of Resident Evil 8, or Village, spelled with Roman numerals. Brian, you're grinning ear to ear. Take it away.
Yeah, so this, to me, feels like the not only spiritual successor to Resident Evil 7, which rebooted the franchise and brought it into a first-person mode, but also really bringing it back to Resident Evil 4, spooky castles and weird creatures and goblins and monsters everywhere. Great thing about this is it's bringing a bunch of new horror species into the mix for the first time ever. We've got witches and werewolves and fun stuff like that. But this castle setting, this old town, this sort of
pretty cool
cult setting that's happening here, super Resident Evil.
New release date.
None
of them
shot up to one of my most anticipated games of 2021.
Saddens me a little bit.
We got to see more of it today. Interesting thing we did see too is there's sort of like sub storytelling narrative happening here that switches over to a very distinct art style that's evocative of something like Tim Burton or Coraline or something like that, sort of storybook-ish, which is interesting. I watch a ton of horror movies, and I've noticed that a lot of modern horror movies have actually attempted that recently. Most recently, a movie I watched called Hunted did that, where they threw in this sort of like way to tell a story that was separate than the in-game graphics and the shooting with actors and stuff like that. And I think it's really cool. For a second there, I was like, this is bizarre. This doesn't look like anything Resident Evil at all. If you had shown me that screen right there, that animation, I never would have guessed that this is what was happening. But I think it's going to add something interesting and new to the mix. This is a franchise that has reinvented itself so many times. It's gone from completely survival horror, intense, to over-the-top action, to rebooting itself as a first-person sort of like survival horror again, and back and forth and back and forth. And so I'm really excited to see how this one sort of brings in some of the best elements in the history of this franchise, returning in the first-person mode again, which means that the graphics are going to be just utterly stunning and gorgeous, but also bringing a lot of the sort of vintage survival horror stuff with it. I can't wait to see what they do in terms of like upgrading weapons, and if there's a merchant, and like what the weird cult people are like in this town, and can you turn into a werewolf? Do you get superpowers? Like, there's so much.
That would be awesome.
These games get so fun and so silly. So
that would be so awesome.
Really excited for this one.
But I doubt it.
Janet, Jonathan, did you have anything to add about that after Brian?
I'm super excited for this too, even though I'm not really a horror person. It's kind of very scary. However, I am new to Resident Evil. My first ever Resident Evil game that I fully played through was 7. And then I went to RE2 Remake, and I haven't gotten around to RE3 Remake yet, but I plan to. So it's been really cool as someone that's new to the franchise and doesn't have like necessarily the nostalgia or memories that Brian has, but sort of sees this as, okay, what are they going to do now? So we know they like rocked, the remakes because those games were already good. So they made already good games better again. I've been super excited to see, okay, but what are they going to do that's next, that's new? To me, that's always what's more exciting than a remake. So I'm really interested in this. I get the sense that they might be playing with this idea of what is reality and what is illusion, and maybe there's something like going on with your head. They sort of had a bit of that in RE7 as well, but just the idea of this having the storybook narrative underneath, and this idea of, oh, these are just tales. What are you talking about? Everything's normal. I think it's going to warp your perception of reality a lot. I'm also really curious if they're going to do PSVR support for this, because that was a big part of 7 and that idea. Yeah. And Sony's so focused on immersion. Like, I think this is just going to be such a horrific adventure that I will not be playing at VR, but I think it'll be cool if people can.
Jonathan, anything to add?
I like spooks. I'm excited for this spook. I don't think there's any more I can say
Fair
about
enough.
that. I did just see some breaking news, though, if you don't mind me interrupting.
Sure, go for it.
Because why put this in the stream, PlayStation confirmed on their Twitter account that pre-orders will be available starting as early as tomorrow from select retailers.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I think Jeff Keighley also leaked that on his Twitter, but PlayStation's
tomorrow.
So that's cool.
He also
we don't know which select retailers yet, but yeah, that's great. So you can relax today. You can sit on your wallet for a little while, call your bank, whatever you got to do. But
I've
tomorrow
never
morning,
been more relaxed than now. Sure.
Oh man,
it's gonna happen when we're asleep. It's obvious.
Anyway, I guess speaking of other
it
things,
doesn't.
but
I
I'm
won't be able to
surprising
get
you.
one.
We also got to look at Demon's Souls running a good chunk of gameplay. This is the Blue Point full from the ground up remaster, which looks just flabbergastingly gorgeous. And it's going to be a launch title, which is huge.
We also just got confirmation that this is a PlayStation exclusive. It is a timed exclusive. It's also coming to PC, but in terms of consoles, this is a timed exclusive on PS5.
Yeah, I'm surprised Sony doesn't just acquire Blue Point at this point, because obviously they love working together, and they've done some great remakes in the past. But yeah, as Max, you were saying, this looks gorgeous, and as someone who kind of bounced on Demon's Souls very early because I was too scared to keep going forward because I was bad at it, I'm really excited to jump into this version of it.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about this. It's weird because I played Demon's Souls for like a hot second when it was a PS Plus game on PS3, and I kind of like poked around and didn't fully grok how to actually get good. But now since then I've burned through Bloodborne. I'm actually like halfway through Dark Souls 3 right now, and I'm absolutely in love with it. And I'm like totally gonna jump into this and check it out. It's gonna be really exciting to be sort of part of one of those games when they come out and everyone's talking about them at the same time, instead of playing a game that came out 3 years ago that no one's talking about. But yeah, this looks stunning. I'm dying to see somebody do a graphics comparison because, you know, pull up the original and basically play alongside this exact same route, which I'm assuming is like in there, which should be cool. I'm sure somebody's working on that right now. But yeah, this looks like a ton of fun, and I don't know. It's cool that we're gonna get such a big, you know, chunky, meaty game right at launch.
Yeah, that's honestly the biggest news for me. That's something I was really hoping for when we were talking about it in the pre-show. I'm a huge FromSoft fan, just like you, Max. You know, Bloodborne is one of my favorite games of all time. The idea of playing this on day one made me go from like, now we're starting to form the idea of why you would buy a PlayStation 5 on day one. I mean, it's one of those things I would have done anyway because I'm stupid. And even if it didn't have games, I'd be like, I'll get it just because I love shiny new things. And, you know, they help satiate the sadness that is the rest of the universe. But Demon Souls on day one, are you kidding me? Like, I'm going to play the hell out of this game. It looks super tough and challenging. And yeah, Max, like you said, the conversation about this game did happen a while ago when it first launched, but there's going to be millions of people playing it for the very first time, including you and I. And we're weird that we text each other about monsters and Bloodborne and Dark Souls at wee hours of the night. So I'm very excited to do all that again with all of you. Assume you all play it.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of bright and shiny brand new launch titles, we actually just got confirmation if Demon Souls is too scary for you. Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales will be launching on 11/12 US and 11/19 everywhere else on PlayStation 5, and it's also coming to PlayStation 4 as well. That is an official tweet with like 8 other hashtags. Hashtag
finally got a release date for that.
Hashtag makes you feel like Spider-Man.
Why did none of these things happen during the actual showcase?
I don't know. It's very weird. The weird thing about this one, too, is that we had theorized that it was $40 for a while because it was allegedly about half the length of the original game in terms of story and narrative. But this will be $50 for the base game, $70 for the ultimate version of the game, which includes a remaster of the PS4 version of Spider-Man. So that's awesome. That's a lot. But I think we had thought from the start that that was just rolled into a $40 price tag. So I do feel like things got moved around a little bit here.
All right.
It's still cool.
Let's wrap things up. Obviously, there's going to be tons more details popping up and coming out of the woodwork over the next, I guess, hours even. But final thoughts, Janet, you go first.
I guess this being now that we have this at launch, I think that's pretty strong. I wouldn't say I'm disappointed that's also on PS4 because that sounds kind of like, oh, I have less fun if more people can play the games. It's not that. It's just that, you know, we criticize Xbox so much for that. I think it'd be ridiculous not to hold PlayStation to the same standard. I will say that I am very excited about the price. The price is awesome. I'm absolutely going to buy it tomorrow, hopefully, pre-order it if that happens. Excited to be able to play Miles at launch. Kind of disappointed that the launch lineup is not one that I would say is super strong outside of Miles, which once again is debatably not an exclusive, but hey, neither was Breath of the Wild on Switch, so I'll take it.
Jonathan, what about you?
Yeah, you know, it's strange. This presentation definitely didn't answer all the questions it needed to. There are still a lot of stuff hanging, even when it comes to just the full launch lineup. But if we are really getting this Demon Souls at launch just on its own, I mean, to me, that already blows the PS4 launch out of the water. So I'm really excited to jump in on day one. I feel a little bit more secure in putting down $500 about this, even though I was always going to. But all of this, there's a lot to be excited about, not just right now, but I think this did a really great job of telling me why 18 months from now, the PS5 is going to feel like a really good investment.
Nice. Brian, what about you? Final thoughts?
So the launch lineup to me is fantastic. Miles and Demon Souls on day one is great. The price is excellent. It's incredibly competitive. I think that it's going to go very far. The lineup for next year looks great. I wish we had seen more UI features, more stuff running under the hood, more of what it's going to be like to interact with this system on day one. But hopefully that's to come. So.
Yeah, it's really exciting. I feel good about it. I'm totally going to pre-order one of these guys.
I think there's going to be a bunch of stuff after this whole show.
Our thoughts on PlayStation stuff, you can check us out on Podcast Beyond every week on IGN. That is the PlayStation Show. And Next Gen Console Watch will be doing the whole, fair and balanced argument about which of the different shaped boxes is better, and having a reasoned debate about that. You can catch that every week on IGN as well. We will have more to talk about later, right here on IGN on news, games, and more, which I'll also be hosting. I want to go outside because it's nice out, but I guess I'll sit around and talk about Demon Souls some more. Anyway, thank you all for watching and joining us, Jonathan, Janet, Brian. Thank you. I'm happy we got to do this. It feels good.
Me too.
Hey, we got the release date and the prices.
Yeah,
finally.
There's a new PlayStation. That's fun. That's good news. Anyway, thank you to all of you watching at home, and we'll see you soon. Stick around. Bye.
Bye, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I say, I am NeonDragonPlayz. This was my live stream. Bye.